And before we get into the official part of this morning's program, we would like to ask Psalm 33.
Mr. Peter Hopgood, his team from Outrigger, the Outrigger guests from also Hawaii, Sean. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, the students and the teachers. I do not intend to make a long speech, but essentially to firstly acknowledge the assistance provided by Outrigger Hotel to this particular school. I was here, I think, last year at the opening of the kindergarten. And of course, early childhood education, ladies and gentlemen, is very, very critical to ensuring that we have a very stable and very strong educational system in Fiji. And unfortunately, because of years or decades of neglect in the education system, we do not see the early childhood education system actually develop, no various provisions being provided for that. But now, of course, government is putting in a lot of money. In this year's budget only, we have about $970 million dedicated to the education sector. It's unprecedented, almost $1 billion. And when you have a budget of in slightly in excess of $3 billion, it's nearly a third of the budget. The reason why that is very critical for us to do so, ladies and gentlemen, is because today in Fiji, 69.4% of the entire population is below the age of 40, out of which approximately 300,000 of those Fijians would be below the age of 18. In other words, they're all either school children or below school age. So it is very critical for us to be able to invest in that particular sector to ensure that we have a very stable, a very strong future. Very soon, most of the students will actually be in leadership positions, not just necessarily political leadership positions, but in the communities, in the businesses that they'll work in their homes, wherever they would be. So it's very critical, as highlighted by the manager, that we need to create a knowledge-based society. And that means ensuring that we have quality education being delivered to all parts of Fiji. After coming from Bonn on Monday from Germany, where, as you know, Fiji has the presidency of COP23, and climate change is a very significant issue, in particular for vulnerable island states like Fiji. The people over here would tell you about the flooding that takes place in the Singatoka River. A lot of it, of course, is happening because of the fact that there is climate change, because of the fact that there is degradation of farming areas, degradation of forestation areas, and we all need to be able to adapt to the changes in climate to be able to ensure that we mitigate those risks. And after the presidency, what actually has happened is brought home the point to the international community, the level of exposure that small island states like Fiji have, the vulnerability, but also how we can all work together to be able to provide solutions, be able to adapt to the environment, and there's of course opportunities in that also. Similarly, as we have seen, because of the neglect of the education sector in Fiji, we need to be able to provide a very focused attention in terms of investment in the education sector. And government is always very buoyed by the fact that you have organizations such as Outrigger and various other corporate businesses, NGOs, etc., that collaborate with government, collaborate with various school committees to be able to provide a very quick, expeditious investment in the education system. Over here, of course, as you can see, because of the direct input of the Outrigger Hotel, through their guests, some of them who are here today, we're able to get a kindergarten building. We're able to get the structures in place. Today we're opening up this new building. I was informed that they're going to assist you to build some staff quarters, because obviously there's no point having classrooms if you don't have teachers. You need teachers on site. And government, through the civil service reform, has only recently increased the salaries for all teachers. In fact, teachers, some of the high school teachers, head teachers in primary schools are receiving a pay rise, an increase of about 40 to 50%. essentially to retain people within the system, to be able to ensure that they have a good working environment, a good working condition for them to be able to be motivated to be able to teach our children. And that is very critical. So it fits in very well with part of government's plan. So I'd like to very much publicly acknowledge and thank the Outrigger, and in particular Peter, who's actually been driving this cause. Let's put our hands together for them, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a wonderful partnership. I'd also like to, most schools in Fiji, for those of you who may not know, in fact, were started by either faith-based organizations or started by school committees such as this. You have managers of these schools who do not necessarily get paid any money for it. It's all because they feel very passionate about the education system. It's all because they want to see people living in the community get an education. And they have, through their passion, set up schools like this. Many faith-based organizations, just in the past, since coming from Germany, I've actually been going to a lot of prize-giving, ceremonies of schools. Just this morning I was in Kulukulu, that's where the Singatoka sand dunes are. And again, that school was started by a committee many years ago. Yesterday I was at a school up in Rewa, where again the school was started way back about 100 years ago by a group of interested individuals who wanted the school to start. Apparently, I was looking at the history, they actually shut down because they ran out of money during the colonial days. The colonial government did not give any money, and then a group of individuals came together again, put some money in, and the school restarted. Similarly over here, this school obviously was started by a committee. They actually have been enduring the hardships, the lack of investment by governments, but now government has made education free. So every single child that attends this school, the parents no longer have to pay the school fees. Because before we had children who would come to school because the parents could not pay the fees, they actually had to leave school. Now that no longer is the case. To be able to now have the government working together with the management and also be able to give them a regular source of income, and through the partnership of organizations such as Outrigger, you now see the school flourishing. It provides a good learning environment, the students get motivated, the infrastructure is good, and as you can see, the pass rate has actually increased. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank once again everybody that's come together to ensure that we have a Conua District School that's going to forge much better and much further ahead. I'd like to once again thank all the guests who are here from the Outrigger Hotel, and those guests who are not here who've actually contributed towards the building of the school. As you know, that also government has been working together with the community. There'll be a new water supply system that's been put in place, and that will be open next week. And again, this is all part and parcel of taking a holistic approach to development and indeed sustainable development. Peter and your team, thank you very much once again. The manager and your team, thank you very much once again, and we look forward to working together with all of you. And I wish everybody a fantastic and a Merry Christmas. Thank you. Say please. Oh, one more. Okay. Second. Yeah. Hey. Okay. Yeah.
Really.
Okay, we've done our bit. Bring the boys in, young boys.